I'm going to beat you into the living death.
The boogeyman is no more! Welcome to Yelling About Mixed Martial Arts, the show where I yell about mixed martial arts. UFC 287 was last weekend, where Israel Adesanya finally completed his hero's journey, taking down Alex Pereira with a stunning second-round KO. He then singled out Pereira's son, turning on the ragdoll physics and dropping to the mat, mocking the child the same way that child mocked him in the second kickboxing match between the two fighters, where Adesanya himself had been knocked out. A lot of different people have a lot of different opinions about this mockery, so I'll tell you mine in the form of a little story. It all takes place at the supermarket, where I was walking down an aisle with my cart, and a mother and her child were standing dead center in the middle of that aisle. I approached the pair slowly, making it obvious I was trying to get by. This little shit of a child noticed me, moved about an inch so I had barely enough room to squeeze by him, all the while looking at me with this "what the fuck are you gonna do" face. Now obviously I couldn't ram my cart down this bitch ass kid's throat, but had his father been in an octagon, perhaps I would have slapped him around a little bit and seen how that kid would have liked that. The point is, teach your children some goddamn respect or the world will do it for you. Other noteworthy items from the event include standout performances from the ladies, with narrow victories going to Lupi Godinez and Luana Pinheiro over Cynthia Calvillo and Michelle Watterson respectively. Chris Curtis and Kelvin Gastelum put on an absolute banger. The Raul Rosas Jr. hype train has been derailed, and the disgraced Jorge Masvidal has finally retired. Much like the rest of the world, I was once all in on Jorge, but like Kevin Holland said,
everything that he did before he started sucker punching people, I was a huge fan of. I was a big fan of Jorge Masvidal before he started doing all this bullshit, but after that, I just kind of lost taste of it.
Exactly. To lose a fight in the cage and then mask up and sucker punch a dude in the streets is some of the most bitch shit I can think of. But hey, at least he did pave the way for other innovators like Paddy Pimblett in the field of fan base alienation. Earlier last week, it was announced that UFC parent company Endeavor was forming a new company to house both the UFC and WWE under one roof, thus shoveling dirt upon the last shred of credibility that MMA may have had in being taken seriously as a legitimate sport. While Brock Lesnar may be a juiced-up exception, ever since the CM Punk experiment, to Ronda Rousey, Cain Velasquez, and Paige Van Zandt having their little jaunts in the squared circle, to DC special refereeing matches, I have made my opinion very clear. Scripted, predetermined bullshit only serves to muddy the waters of legitimate competition. Now, I do realize that since the early days of the sport, there has been a long and storied history of intertwining between professional wrestling and mixed martial arts, but that is where it should stay, in history. And to be clear, I love MMA and can also get down with some professional wrestling. But let me put it to you like this. I can watch Grey's Anatomy, but when I go in for open heart surgery, I don't want to have to wonder if the doctor is an actual doctor or just plays one on television. Oh, well, it's not like they're combining into one entity. They'll still operate independently. There just might be some crossover in promotion and stuff like that. I don't care. Any blurring of the lines only serves to blemish mixed martial arts, which is how you end up with situations like what happened between Dana and the Schmo at the UFC 287 press conference.
WWE, UFC merger, one umbrella. Past or present, professional wrestling. If you could take one person with the steel chair to the skull, who would it be? Or UFC fighter, wrestling ring.
No comment. I'm trying not to get in trouble.
Thank you. Any other stupid questions? And then that other f***ing idiot gets up there and goes, now that the WWE deal is done, who would you like to hit with a chair? You, mother. That's who we like.
Oh, so now you care about the integrity of the sport, Dana. It didn't seem to matter to you when every fight that you've ever made was based on popularity and not merit. It didn't seem to matter to you when Colby Covington and Conor McGregor were doing their heel shticks during press conferences. It didn't seem to matter to you when you were heaping praise on Vince McMahon when the deal was announced. No, the Schmo goes up and asks one goofball question as part of his little song and dance, and all of a sudden you're clutching your pearls. Well, sorry, buddy, you can't have your cake and eat it too. This is not Fuck It Friday. I don't really have a good way to transition out of that little rant, So please enjoy these pictures of TJ Dillashaw looking sad because his bump shoulder forced him into retirement. I wonder if EPO enhances your crying ability. Oh well, sorry TJ, but cheaters never win unless your name starts with John and ends with Jones. For yelling about mixed martial arts, this is Thinker St. James reminding you that if you care this much about MMA, you too are a fucking moron. Oh, well, it's not like they're combining into one entity. They'll still operate independently. There just might be some crossover in promotion and stuff like that. I don't care. Any blurring of the lines only serves to blemish mixed martial arts. And if I recall, blurred lines had some seriously negative repercussions for Robin Thicke. Jesus Christ, Thinker, a blurred lines reference in 2023? What's next? You gonna talk about Uptown Funk? When that song was released, I think Raul Rosas Jr. was still bathing in embryonic fluid.
James.